Have you ever wanted to see what's truly in my PC, what we like to call personal collection in the hobby? Well, guess what? Today is your day, and I'm going to do it with a little interesting twist. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. Just to give you guys a little bit of an overview of what's going on today, I am going to take my PC cards and I'm going to reveal them to you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to relate each card to one brick of the pyramid, and actually the pyramid of success made by none other great coach of UCLA, Mr. John Wooden. We are going to jump right into this today and start with the first building block of success, which is industriousness. Now, this goes out to a certain player that works very hard, has a certain work ethic, and is very disciplined. It doesn't stray too far from what they have to do and what they need to do. And that player is none other than Kobe Bryant. Check it out, guys. This card that I have here is the Kobe Bryant Gold Topps Finest in a PSA 8. I think it's a super nice card. Really awesome one to have in my PC. It's in very low pop too, with only, I believe, 250 of these, and then there's some refractors as well. But this card is super duper awesome, and I wanted to relate Kobe to this part of the building block because there's been crazy stories about him even going in to practice super early, like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And I wanted to give a good tribute to the Mamba as well. There's just crazy stories about Kobe and his work ethic. I've even seen once that when he I think injured one of his wrists, I believe it was his right wrist, he came into practice in the morning with his left, just shooting free throws, just always doing whatever he can to get better. So rest in peace to the Mamba. This is an awesome card and an awesome player that can relate to the block of industriousness. The next building block of the pyramid is friendship. This goes out to someone who respects their peers, respects others that they play against, and just is the exact epitome of camaraderie. And for this, I chose none other than Mr. Yogi Berra. Check it out. This is actually his rookie card from 49 Bowman. Very nice. It is actually not even colored, black and white. They did the nice little square design on this. Show you the back now as well. Check this out. And I really wanted to choose him because he was just very respected by his peers, respected by others. He had super funny sayings, one of which is, if there's a fork in the road, take the fork. And with baseball, that it's 90% mental and the other half is physical. I thought those quotes are pretty funny, and I wanted to include them in there. It just shows how his basically approach at life and how he really just engulfs the friendship part of this pyramid. So I couldn't think of anybody better that I had in my collection than Yogi Berra himself, one of the greatest catchers of all time. After friendship, we have loyalty. This goes out to a specific player that is very loyal to their team, loyal to their coach, and willing to work for the team as opposed to their own individual goals. And that player is none other than Derek Jeter right here. This is his gold hologram, PSA 9, not to be confused with the silver hologram card, which is typically the normal card that you see. The only difference between the two is if you look at the back in the right corner, this hologram, I'm just going to try to show it very well, is actually gold, whereas most of them have it in silver. In a PSA 9, this is very low pop. I believe only around 50 of them in PSA 9 and around 46 in PSA 10, or around those numbers. So I'm very excited to have this card. And I couldn't think of anybody better than Derek Jeter, who played on the same team his whole career. It's respected by the whole baseball community, and now a new Hall of Famer. So Derek Jeter, everybody. We are now at the cooperation stage of the pyramid of success. And this really goes out to a player that just embodies the notion of that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. They know that working together can help you achieve more. And for this, I had to choose my man from Miami, Dwayne Wade, baby. And this is a guy that I'm so happy to have in my PC. This Dwayne Wade card is a Topps Chrome Wade card. As you guys can see, I think it's a super cool card. I've always wanted like a really nice Wade rookie, so I'm glad I have this in my personal collection right here. I'm so glad that after when the big three came to Miami, he was more than willing to take that role and let really LeBron take the reign, and he was willing to be kind of not a sidekick per se, but just a sort of more of a role player as opposed to the guy that was always doing everything. So he took that role immediately, and that led to them winning championships and the Heat being a successful team overall. So I'm super excited to show you guys this, and I think this is the best player that can embody this stage of the pyramid of success. We are on to the enthusiasm block of the pyramid. And for this one, I wanted to pick someone that absolutely fires their teammates up, gets everyone super wilded up, and this actually ends up to the whole team just being fired up and playing better as a whole. And I thought there was no better player to do this than LeBron James. Now here I'm holding his Topps base rookie, very nice. It is a little bit different than the Wade card because that's a Topps Chrome, but it's still an awesome card to have. I got this a while ago and added it to my personal collection. So I had to choose for LeBron because always whenever he hits a shot or he'll like hit a dunk or something, he will look at the bench and they will just absolutely lose it. It's so obvious that his enthusiasm is so infectious towards the team, and I believe this helps towards the team's success, and that's why he has as many rings as he has. Well, that's not the only reason, but I think it contributes a little bit. It's a really unique quality, and LeBron just embodies this perfectly. And now we continue on to the self-control part of the pyramid. This goes out to a player who can really hold their emotions in, and they know that there's only a certain time and place to use your emotions, and then if you use them in a not wise way, you can end up just having your team crumble down, end up losing, and not only that, but not even playing to the best of your ability. And I was thinking about this one, and one just came to mind, and that is Jackie Robinson. You see, this technically there's multiple rookie cards for Jackie Robinson. This is indeed one of them. This is his first year Bowman card. I think it is so cool, and like the fact that I have this is absolutely insane. When I picked this up, I was just losing it because I couldn't believe that I actually obtained this card. I didn't think I would obtain it so early on in my collecting, but nevertheless, I have the card now. I'm so excited. I don't even care that it has a pinhole in it because it's so freaking awesome that I have this card. So Jackie Robinson, when he was playing, he would always get like stepped on by people and they'd call him names, but he knew that he couldn't let them get to him and he had to just keep his composure, because if he did, then like maybe the whole course of history could be changed. Maybe it would take longer for people of color to get into the major leagues. So everything was dependent on this guy, and he played his role perfectly. And now that allowed for everybody in sports and even other sports to go in and have people just come out, and he's an absolute figure, and he's just an historical figure. I'm so excited to have this one. I'm really excited to showcase this to you all. The perfect embodiment of self-control, Mr. Jackie Robinson. Next is alertness. This goes out to a player who is always ready and just really taking everything in, and is always just basically conscious of what they have to do and when they have to do it. And I thought there was no other player that embodied this better than the Iron Man himself, Cal Ripken. This is his Topps traded rookie card. I think it's super awesome. I got this at the last Dallas show. I think it's super sweet. I got it for a great price as well. I think this card has such a cool blue background, and this is his rookie card. Something interesting about him is that he played 2,632 games straight, an MLB record, and he could not have done this without being alert and attentive to detail and ready to do what he does. So Cal Ripken, everybody. We will now move on to the next block of the pyramid, which is a player who just really goes out and takes initiative when they play. And this is really a player who can just go and just absolutely jumpstart the team and just take them around, and really when they're starting to go into a bad place, just absolutely hit the U-turn and bring them to somewhere better. And I thought of none other than Dr. J. Julius Erving. See, this right here is his rookie card. This is a super awesome one from the 1972 set, that's right. And this is him on the Virginia Squires. Little fun fact about Julius Erving, he actually played in the ABA for a while. So he, basically what happened is that he wasn't in the NBA when he started. There were two separate leagues. And the reason why I chose him from initiative is because when he switched on to become a 76er, he helped the team really go into overdrive, and he was able to get his first NBA championship with the Sixers. So that is why I chose him for this block. Dr. J, everybody. Our next block is intentness. This goes out to a player that really always goes out and they never do anything that is harmful to the game. They're always just doing something with a good reason and for a good reason, and they're always playing fair. They never do anything that's foul or something that's low or something that's just not really allowed in the sport. And I wanted to choose for this one the card, the Magic and Larry Bird rookie card. I'm going to place it in a picture up above, but I do not have this one on me right now. However, it is stored somewhere else. It is just not on my person, but in my personal collection. This card is super awesome. I love the design, and there's a Dr. J in the middle. Speaking of him, we just did something around him. So I just think that's such an awesome card to have and to collect, but also I believe it relates to this intent, because whenever they, Magic and Bird, when they played each other, although maybe they didn't love each other when they were playing, they always had good intent. Like off the court, they were always very nice with each other, but while it was on the court, it was game time, and they had the intent of, I have to win, I have to get this championship for my team, this is a big rivalry and we have to win. So I just love how they're just absolutely just players of the game. I know that Bird talked a lot of trash back in his day. However, when everything was said and done, he wasn't a sore loser, and he just had good intent when he played, and the Magic did as well. We are moving right along to the next block, which is condition. Now, when I say this, I'm not only referring to physical condition, but also mental and moral condition. And with this, I thought we'd go with no other than Mr. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You see, when he was in college, he was on the UCLA Bruins. He was coached by John Wooden, and I thought he would fit this perfectly because he just he wasn't only just in very good shape, but also John Wooden really cultivated a certain culture that would help him get that mental and moral condition as well. So with that being said, he was able to fire on all three cylinders and just be so mentally tough as well as physically tough, which is one of the reasons why they just won a ton of championships with the UCLA Bruins under Coach John Wooden. The card that I have pictured here is actually Kareem's second year. Back then, he didn't even change his name, and it was still Lou Alcindor, which is very cool. And I eventually want to get his rookie card because I think the card is so cool, but we'll see what happens. Maybe the next card show video, I can pick it up. So I'm super excited for that. And also, this is a player that I believe just truly shows what condition really is. Moving right along to the next block, which is skill. Now, this goes to a player which can really show all of what they need to do and what their job is. And I thought there's no better player to give this to than Christy Mathewson. Check this out, guys. This is a Christy Mathewson tobacco card from the T206 set. I recently got this as a pickup from a Facebook group, and I'm so excited to show this to you all. I think this card is absolutely amazing in the grade of a 3. That is considered really awesome. And the reason why I gave him the skill component of the pyramid to success is because he had an ERA over his career of 2.13, which means he gave up around a little more than 2 runs per game over his career, which is absolutely insane. As a pitcher, he has over 300 wins, which is pretty insane, and over 100 WAR. After skill, we have team spirit. This is similar to the enthusiasm block that we were talking about a little bit earlier, but a little bit different in the fact that they just have absolute faith for the team. They're always there. They're ride or die, and they're always there to support their team. And I thought that the best example of this from the cards that I have is Kevin Durant. You see, this is actually one of Kevin Durant's rookie cards. He has multiple with different backs, but this is the black one, which is numbered 112, as opposed to the other common white one that there is. I will say the white is in a higher pop than the black, and that's why there's a disparity in prices between these. But back to what we were talking about earlier about John Wooden's pyramid. This card with Kevin Durant, he really, when he was hurt on the Golden State Warriors, he wasn't able to play in the finals. However, he was always there on the bench, still acting super happy, still hyping everything up. Whenever someone made a 3, he would still go crazy and be super excited for his team. And I think that's really big because inside, I know he wanted to go out there and play, but he had that injury on his leg. I want to say it was an Achilles injury. but it's really hard to restrain that back. And yet he made it a point to just not even show how he felt and to just be happy for his team in the finals, which is a really admirable quality. So Kevin Durant, everybody. Our next block we're moving on to is poise. And this is a player that when things get tough can absolutely just stick it in there and just perform to their absolute best. And for this part of the pyramid, I chose none other than the great Mickey Mantle. See, this is his 1952 Bowman card, which is not to be confused with the 52 Topps, which is one of the most iconic cards in baseball. But nonetheless, still, this one is still amazing. It's a beautiful portrait of Mickey Mantle. I personally think this one is undergraded if you can check it out, because I think the corners are awesome. There's a little mark right here if I zoom in on it. And then I think there might be paper loss on his head, but very lightly on his forehead. And that's why I got the grade that it got. But I think this card is absolutely amazing. And along with the player, Mickey Mantle had 536 home runs, and he was a switch hitter. And in order to be able to do this, and especially to be able to bat with both ways, you really have to have some poise and be able to just also a little bit of confidence as well to just keep it together and keep it cool. So when there's a pitcher that pitches a certain way, maybe just keep it cool in the batter's box and boom, hit them out of the park. Relating to poise, our next block and the second to last block out of Wooden's pyramid is confidence. For this, I wanted to pick a player that is just absolutely has this undeniable confidence and this aura of just being able to just go out there and people just know this guy is fierce. Regardless of if they're playing against him, he just looks like he's an absolute baller. And for this, I chose none other than Barry Bonds. You see, I know he's it's very debatable in baseball as to if he is like the home run king or not with the whole steroid thing, but Barry Bonds was still an amazing player nonetheless. He had 762 home runs in his career, which is the record, and he also has a record for most intentional walks, which is absolutely insane. Imagine a player being so confident that teams wouldn't be sure if they wanted to pitch to him normally because they kind of had that feeling that he was just going to smash him out of the park. So they intentionally walked him to get out of pitching to him because he is that good. I think that's absolutely insane, and that is why he took the spot of confidence for the pyramid. And last but certainly not least, for our pyramid, we have the top, which is competitive greatness. Now, when going ahead and thinking about this, there's only one player of mine that really came to mind when wanting to put on this certain part in the pyramid, and that player is Michael Jordan. This man was an absolute competitor, and to the point where he'd even want to win just things such as golf and even like some certain gambling deals and cards. He is ultra competitive, and that drive just fueled him to be one of the best basketball players of all time. There's still a lot of people that say he is the best basketball player of all time, and the card that I have with this is the Fleer sticker rookie. Unfortunately, a lot of his cards and 86 Fleer have gone down because they were pumped up so heavily just by hypebeasts and other stuff in general. However, I do think these Jordan rookie cards over time will definitely come back to where they were. So no worries about that. If you have one, I would even advise you to just hold it for a little bit because it's worth just weighing it out. And there's just been a heavy decline and a heavy just sell-off with those cards. So that is who I have for that part of the pyramid. That is all we have for today. Thank you so much for bearing with me for this. I know it was a little bit of a long time, but for those of you who really watched the whole thing, thank you very much. I'm so glad to show my personal collection to you all. And also, I want to let you know now at the end that I want to do it in a creative way. And I also had a project for this class I'm in called Sports Business Management, where we had to go ahead and relate the John Wooden pyramid to something in any way. So I chose cards, and I thought this was an amazing opportunity for me to go ahead and show you all the cards that I've collected over these past couple months. Also, please do us a huge favor, hit that subscribe button and absolutely smash the like button for us, guys. Thank you for giving us this whole community and everything, just going through the Discord, TikTok, everything else. We are so happy to have you guys here. We are on our road to 1,000 subscribers, which is insane because 7 months ago, I don't think this channel even existed. So thank you for your support. We appreciate it. And without further ado, Breakout cards out.